My name's Stephen Daniel Morones. I'm a carpenter, local 174. Right now I'm at the training program doing my work to become a journeyman. I was born in Naperville, grew up in Aurora, Illinois. Then I moved to Earlville, Illinois. Finished out high school there. And then in 2008 is when I left for the Marine Corps. I did 4 years. I served with 2 different units and did 2 tours. Transitioning into the civilian life is actually quite harder for some than it is the others. There's times I'm sitting there and then next thing you know, I'm just angry for no reason, just wanting to fight or, and then you try coping it with alcohol. I drank mass amounts of alcohol and all that does is, it prolongs the inevitable, which, for me was an attempted suicide. Let's see, I got out in 2012 and it took me 5-6 years to even think about getting help. Basically, my mother forced me into getting help. I had went off the rails again and my problem was I didn't know how to express my feelings or say what I was feeling, whether it was to my significant other or, my mom, my brother, or whoever. And basically she, said she'd be damned if her baby died. So the next day, that night, she started looking for doctors, found a doctor for me in Aurora and called the doctor. Took me that next day, which was a Monday, there, and then that's where all the different opportunities for treatment, for help, and all that came about. Was my doctor's one that put me in touch with that, so. I always felt I can deal with it on my own. Well, I come to find out I can't. We're all humans. We're not superheroes as much as we all want to be. We can't. It's just not in us. We need help, and and money was my biggest worry. Not being able to provide for my family or whatever, which that's really not a worry anymore because the biggest thing is insurance. With the UBC, I have insurance, so any doctor that I need, whether it's mental, physical, whatever, they pretty much cover it. You get a card with every hour you work, you get $1 put on that card. I haven't had to pay a copay or nothing for it, for any of the treatment I've ever gotten. So I mean, it's the insurance is like one of the biggest things, So it's like, it makes it that much harder not to do it. I can kind of tell when something is stirring up or coming about, and I just talk about it. That is the end-all be-all that helped me, was having someone to talk to. It's just finding those people that you can trust for you to confide, your dark secrets into. Not everyone knows that there's help out there, and that's the biggest thing, is that there is. People would be amazed how many people are willing to just open an ear and just listen, and not judge you and not, oh, well, you're crazy. If you got that will and that want to keep pushing forward, then, anything's possible.